adventure today. Lucy's not with me, and this venture is going to be a little bit different from what you're used to seeing me produce here on YouTube. I'm not fishing, I'm not hunting, I'm going prospecting. And for those of you that don't know, I'm a pretty avid gold prospector. I kind of go in cycles. You know, there'll be several months when I don't go at all, and then I'll go quite a few times. But I'm really feeling the urge to get back in it. I found an area way out in the Tahoe National Forest when I was deer hunting that looked promising. I've done quite a bit of research on it. It appears that there's maybe 1.5 miles, maybe 2 square miles of area that isn't currently claimed, but that had been under claim in the past. And one of the most important things about finding gold here in California or anywhere else is that you want to look for gold in places where gold has been found before. And this general area I'm going to, it has reputation, you know, historically for producing some pretty coarse gold. So today we're going to go out, we're going to cover ground, we're going to do some prospecting. I have some basic panning equipment with me in my day pack. I have my metal detector. We'll talk more about gear later on. But I'm ready to metal detect. I'm ready to clean some bedrock. Basically, I just want to see what the potential is in the area. I want to scope it out for any places where the old timers worked, and just see what we find. It's about 7:30 in the morning, so I'm kind of off to a late start. It's a cloudy, humid day here in the foothills. I'm already kind of sweaty, so it should be a very pleasant day out in the woods. Not only am I going to look for some gold, but I'm going to get some exercise in and just get outside and check things out a little bit. So I will be back at you when we hit the gold fields. Okay, here we are. I'm probably a half-an-hour hike from the truck, and I came down this pretty steep slope up here. I'll turn the camera around, you can see that. I came down that area right there, so it was kind of slow going. But looking around here, you can see there is a ton of bedrock, and you can see those logs that were pushed up there at times. This is going through here lickety split, so there's a lot of bedrock to check out. And here's a look upstream. I could cross right there if I want to, but there's a lot of areas to check out here. Okay guys, I've been detecting for about an hour now. I found very little trash, very few targets here. There's a lot of ironized rocks here, hot rocks that'll set off the detector. But I got a really good target here that appears to be a little piece of gold way above the stream bed. I'd say this is probably on a straight line about 10 feet above the surface of the existing water right now. I took the headphones off the detector, and I'm going to work the detector over that spot and see what we see what we hear. So the target, the gold, is right there in that crack, and I don't know if you can hear that. You probably hear that. But I already looked at it, and there is a little thin sliver of gold in there, which I don't know if you can see, but I'm going to grab my tweezers and pry it out of there, and we will see how big it actually is. It's pretty thin, but we'll see what it looks like. So here we go. It's right in here. It's just hammered in there. Don't want to lose it. It was pretty hard to find. Oh. There it is, right there. Nice little flake. Just hammered right down in that crack. I'm gonna chip that out, pan that, and see if there's any other gold in there. I'm gonna hit it again with the detector, but let me grab my bottle, and we'll put that in the bottle. I'll give you a closer look at it. Nice. I'm pretty stoked. Don't lose it. So there we go. Well, I grabbed some tools and I cleaned out that little crevice pretty well, panned it out. Nothing was there. Let me show you how I cleaned it out. You can see I got back in there pretty deep. Nothing else in there. No black sand, no other flakes of gold, no lead, no nothing. But here's that flake we found right there, just like that. So bottom line, we are on the board. we're not getting rich quite yet, but that is gold. And it was in a spot where I didn't expect to find it. Way up from the creek here, I found nothing on all the bedrock down below there. Very few targets, very little black sand, not a whole lot going on here. I'm gonna keep looking around here a little bit, grab a bite to eat, drink some water, and then I'll decide if I'm gonna stay or if I'm gonna kind of move on. But all in all, I'm stoked at that piece of gold, but beyond that, not seeing a lot of sign here. No iron, really no sign of the old timers here, nothing. So anyway, I'll come back at you. Well guys, I got on some more gold. I came up here kind of as far as I can go on this side of the stream, and it's a big chunk of bedrock here. Let me turn the camera. I worked the top of this bedrock with the detector, and not a signal, nothing, until I got right up in there, and I got a signal up in there, and it turned out to be a little tiny piece of, I think it was shotgun shot. It looked like the kind of shot you shoot at like a quail, like number 7, 7.5, something like that. Anyway, it was little, but I continued working down the face of that with the detector. There was a little bit of cracked bedrock. I'll swing the camera back around again. A little bit of cracked bedrock, right? Let me grab my tool. Right in this area here. And I took my crevicing tool, I cleaned all this out, I removed the rock that was in here. I'm gonna clean it out actually a little bit better than that with my brush, but I cleaned it down the face, I got it in my pan, I panned it, and lo and behold, the target was a good sized flake of gold, and I also got some smaller pieces. Let me turn the camera on the pan and I'll show you that gold. Now there was some, you can see that moss there. There was some moss there as well. And I squeezed out the moss, and it turned out there's a fair amount of black sand in that moss. But let me show you the gold here. Let me kind of whoosh this back a little bit. The gold's down in the very corner of the pan. And you can see that heavy sand there. Most of that black sand was in that moss. A few heavier pieces of rock. There's a little piece of gold there. Oh, that's a nicer piece actually. So there we go. So a fair amount of fine gold there, and that one big flake, I think that was my target. There's a couple little pieces of lead in there too. I don't know if you can really see that. There's a piece of lead kind of in the center of that there. But a fair amount of small gold there, and that good sized flake. So let me get this in my snuffer bottle, and we will continue. So what's my plan? I've kind of worked this bedrock down here. I think anybody that kind of stops here and walks upstream that's got a little bit of ambition probably hits this bedrock. I feel like I've been lucky. I've only found targets in 2 spots really that were gold. I've cleaned out quite a few cracks and not found anything. But any further up here, I kind of run out of bedrock. It's all kind of broken rock. It's pretty steep. But what I'm really interested in is, I'm going to switch the camera around here. You can kind of see that bench up there, up in this area here. The creek is kind of over there. So I want to find a place to cross, and I want to kind of explore that bench. I was looking at the brush here, and you can see in that brush right about there, there's a clump of grass up there. So when this water was running high, the last time it was running high, it was 4 or 5 feet deep right here. And I imagine in the winter when it's really rushing, it's all up on top of that bench over there. So I want to go over there, do some exploring on that bench, and then I'm probably going to work my way back to the car, because I have a couple other areas I want to check out. This has been successful so far. I mean, it's not red hot, but there is absolutely positively gold in this stream. I'm just kind of scratching my head, kind of trying to pin down where it's at. And I don't think I'm in the best spot per se. I think if I find a better area where there's more concentration, I'll do a lot better. Who knows? But I'm going to clean up that gold. I'm going to search around here just a little bit more, and then I'm going to head over and check out that bench. Well guys, I'm way upstream, maybe, I don't know, less than half a mile, probably a quarter mile, some fairly rough country upstream from where I was the last time. I found a little more gold, but so far in this creek, I've only found gold in 3 places. I found all of it with the detector, and even the smaller stuff I found it because of the detector. I found a larger piece and then some smaller pieces. But having said that, I have covered so much bedrock. I've cleaned out a bunch of cracks, and I'm scratching my head. You know, prospecting at times is a little like fishing in that you just, no matter how much you do it, you just get confused because sometimes you just don't understand what's going on. I don't understand, like, for example, here, this big chunk of bedrock here, I looked at cracks in there, I metal detected it, I looked everywhere, and I did not find so much as a fleck of gold. But then other little pockets I found a fair amount of gold. So I don't know what to think about that. My research indicated that there was supposed to be some coarse gold in this canyon, and I gotta say, that seems fairly accurate. I haven't seen any evidence of you know, recent workings, old workings. There's very little trash here. I mean, it's a beautiful canyon. I'm gonna do some more research on this trip, or on this spot. I'm not gonna prospect this anymore on this trip because my focus is prospecting, not really extracting. I'm looking for spots to work harder. So I am gonna hike it back to the truck, and we're gonna go check out a couple other spots and see how they work out, see what it looks like there, and who knows, we might stumble on a honey hole. But at the end of the day, I will show you my gold. I think I have a fair amount of gold in my bottle. Pretty good day all in all, but again, I am scratching my head about this creek. Well guys, I am back at my house, and it is smoking hot. I'm here in the shade. I tried to check out a couple other spots, and they were both off a side road, and there were a bunch of water company guys up there doing some surveying. I guess they're getting ready to do a project or something like that. I didn't want to get in their way. It's kind of a single track road, and they were driving back and forth, making a bunch of dust and stuff like that. And I was kind of pooped hiking back in from the last place I filmed on the creek. There were a bunch of down trees, and it was pretty steep and all that. So I am here in my yard. I'm gonna grab the gold, grab some water, grab a gold pan, and let's see what I got today. I think I did pretty good. I haven't looked at it yet, but I'll put it in the pan, we'll swirl it around, and we will check out some California gold. All right, I'm back. Got my snuffer bottle, that's where the gold is, and some black sand. Here's my lucky blue gold pan. I'll swivel the camera down, and we will pour the contents of the snuffer bottle into the pan, and we will see what we got. There we go. So not too bad. Not too bad for hitting a new creek I've never hit before and running a detector. So pretty happy with that. How much is that? I don't know. Probably not a gram, maybe right at a gram, something like that. But it sure is pretty. Awesome. There's my finger for reference. There's a couple, 3 of them there that wouldn't fit down the neck of the snuffer bottle, and some fine gold on top of that. So awesome day.